And it's disappointing. I don't want it to end like this, but the way they're doing it, it looks like it's going to be that way unless they do a last minute thing. I'm not too sure. If it is his farewell match, Matt, and it is against Baron Corbin, let's just say they are facing each other. Does Kurt Angle win at least, or does he still lose?
If he doesn't, I'm going to have personal problems with WWE myself. I never really questioned anything they've done to a personal degree that much. But if this is what they're going to do, and they're actually going to treat someone like that actually did a lot for them in the past. I mean, yeah, they had that moment where they separated and there was personal issues and that, but come on, Sting came into it, and Shawn Michaels came back, and, Goldberg came back, Brock Lesnar came back, and everyone was treated fair and equal. It just doesn't seem right to Kurt Angle at all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So I go Kurt Angle as it stands, hopefully. But again, we don't know. This is one of those ones that WWE might get to, and we might see a big surprise in it. Hopefully, I will say that much. What about for you, Matt? Do you think they change this last minute, or do you think this happens?
To me, given the backlash of the fans, I mean, they even had that moment where Michael Cole was like, "What do you think? Give us your opinion." I mean, they're crying out for it now. They're like, "Well, we're going to get a backlash." So hopefully it's changed and Kurt Angle gets the win. I'd like to see someone retire on a win for once. I mean, John Cena doesn't need to win. He's going to come back and be popular as ever.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. So let's hope. Let's hope indeed. Okay, another title here then. The United States Championship. Samoa Joe up against Rey Mysterio. Very interesting style of clash. Not the worst match on paper, Matt, this one. But this title, I mean, honestly, thrown around like a hot potato since the Royal Rumble, hasn't it? I mean, how crazy has this been? We've had feel like R-Truth for a little while, and Nakamura back in there, and he's not. I mean, unbelievable, all these different people that have held this belt, and now it's on Joe. Finally, Matt, it looks like he's going to get a WrestleMania match here, because he doesn't have good luck when it comes to a WrestleMania match, does he? But he's up against Rey Mysterio, Matt, who really hasn't been treated all that great either. You talk about another guy coming back to the company. I felt like Rey Mysterio could have been doing something a little bit. I'm not saying Joe's a bad opponent by any stretch, but it's just the way they've treated Rey that I've got the problem with. But the actual match on paper, this is good. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to complain too much. It's a one-on-one match. I'm more for this than multi-man matches, so I can't complain too much. It's just they haven't done a very good job at selling to me that they're taking Rey that serious. What do you make of this feud and the way they've quickly built this, Max? It has been very fast.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been an incredible match. This could have been a massive draw, except for the way they have booked Rey all the way up until this match. He's been losing. He's not been on top of his game. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He still has it. He still is a top cruiserweight, one of the best in the world. And the name actually, as itself, he is the best in the world, Still undoubtedly the best masked superstar there's ever been, and not treated as such. It's almost like we're going back to the previous one where we're talking about Kurt Angle, and now we're talking about Rey Mysterio. He's come back. He's not been given his due. No doubt this guy shifts a ton of merchandise. It's not just about that, though, is it? It's about his legacy and about all these people that will be queuing up, dying to have a match with Rey Mysterio. And we know Andrade was one of these guys, and we've seen incredible matches from them on SmackDown. But why have we seen incredible matches for them on SmackDown when their incredible matches should have been at WrestleMania? It seems squandered almost to those points. And yet we get this, and Rey's been booked to lose, and Joe's been booked strong lately, even though Joe's had a terrible year. So it just seems like totally one-sided. It seems like Joe's going to just walk this one, and it'll be much the shame with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, big shame. And, going back to the previous match, wouldn't it have been great for one of these guys to face Kurt Angle on the last match? Rey Mysterio or Joe with the United States belt would have made even more sense. The Olympic gold medalist, the American hero, and all the rest of it. And instead, we got him on on Raw and SmackDown. Better matches there than the main one. It's ridiculous. But Rey Mysterio would have been a great opponent as well. I totally agree there with Matt on this one, but we'll see. For you, as far as a winner goes here, Matt, who do you pull for? Because this belt doesn't seem to last long on people at the minute.
No, it just seems like, someone's upset. What do we do to make them happy? Give them the title. For me, Joe's going to win there soon, because surely the belt has to have some sort of stability sooner or later.
Yeah, I've gone with Joe as well to retain this belt, and I'll be very surprised if Ray wins here. But Samoa Joe all the way for me on that one. Okay, now to the new Mr. WrestleMania version 2, Shane McMahon, the heel Shane McMahon, up against The Miz, and the new stipulation to the match, Matt. Falls count anywhere match. So expect another stunt, as Rusev would say, I guess, Matt.
As soon as it was announced, I was like, jump off anything match.
Yeah. What have you made of this, Matt? They were a tag team. We spoke about this a little bit. The Miz, I don't know. It's really difficult to take this guy. He's good, but as a babyface against Shane, I don't know if Shane's really doing it for me as a bad guy that much. I just think it's Shane, and I think once he does his big stunt, fans will be cheering for him anyway. So it's a hard thing here a little bit. What have you made of it, and what are you looking at in terms of the match here that we're gonna hopefully get or not get?
Yeah, no, I'm buying into it a little bit more each time I see the promos coming up. I mean, I think Shane is a better bad guy than a good guy. I mean, personally, probably for me, because I don't like him so much, so I like to hate him more.
Yeah.
I like to see someone actually fighting against him for the right reasons, rather than cheering him someone I'm not supposed to. I think The Miz, definitely connecting a lot more fans lately. We've seen how much of a family guy he is. He's got his kid now, and I think the people in general connect with him more because they've seen how nice he is. It's hard to hate someone when you see just what a great husband is, what a great dad he is. It's getting difficult now. So the turn is good for him. I think he's pretty good as a natural heel. The way he's playing it, how he came across me was like, it was euphoric to see your dad in suffering and pain. I was like, well, that's a good way to put it. I don't think he's using enough Vince McMahonisms, though. He's not using his power. He's not abusing his power, which he probably could do. They're still booking like Shane is on equal levels with the wrestlers of today, which is the problem. He's not. He is management. He's not a professional wrestler. Yeah. They just never get around that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this match is, even though it's Falls Count Anywhere, which sounds like it should be a long match, I'm hoping it's short and they just fire on all the big spots, and we look at it a bit like AJ and Shane, and we go, yeah, it wasn't so bad because they booked it just right. But I feel between the Miz is a bit different to AJ. AJ can kind of make a broom look good, but with the Miz, I'm hoping in this kind of match that it's short and sweet, but they hit all the good markers, and that's it. And I've got to be honest with you, I believe the Miz should win, and I think the Miz will win. I hope it's going to happen, because if Shane wins, it's getting a bit beyond where I'm at with Shane, even though he's a heel and it might give him more heat. I've got to go with the Miz here. What about you, Matt?
Definitely agree with that. I think it's the right way to go. I think they got to build him as a strong face, because we'll get into this later, but maybe some other title defences might not go their way, and we need a credible face, a strong face, and someone we've seen and been with on the journey for years. A bit like the Kofi Kingston Roman's going to get told later, but you need the Miz as a strong backup.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, hopefully short and sweet, and another Shane McMahon match ever since the Undertaker one, Matt. Unbelievable, isn't it? The succession of Shane McMahon matches every year now. Okie dokie. Right, so now moving on, we have got the returning Roman Reigns up against Drew McIntyre. It's a big match on paper, but it's still not a massive marquee match, which is terrible when you think about it, considering it's Roman Reigns, the guy that's been closing WrestleManias very consecutively right at the end, and this is his first singles match since his return. But it's just a bit unfortunate because of the time they've had to sort this out. I am a little bit disappointed in WWE. They didn't. Drew is really strong, but he could have been even stronger. Like at one point, you had Drew, you had Baron Corbin out there, all kind of teaming up together, and I just feel like they could have done a much better job with Drew to get him ready for this one. And I kind of feel, Matt, that this is a bit of a throwaway when I think about these two guys, Matt. They could actually be the main event at some time. And, you know, are we just sort of blowing this out from nowhere? Because I honestly feel like, you know, Roman as the face maybe now that he's definitely over for, you know, at the moment, since he's come back, stuff's been going okay for him. Against the heel Drew, this in the future, Matt, may have been like a huge closing show match. Instead, we're getting it now, which I'm not complaining about. But, you know, rather than 3 weeks build, I would have loved to have seen a year's build properly, where you protect both guys and you're just like, wow, who is going to freaking win? But, you know, it is where we're at. I just think it's a bit of a shame. Maybe, I've said this before, I've stated it again, I would have rather have seen, if you're going to have Batista, if you want to use Batista as a heel, I would have actually booked him against Roman and had Roman's first single match against the heel Batista, and I would have had Drew McIntyre up against Triple H to put Drew in the driving seat, to get him over, get Triple H to do the job because he's pretty good at it, and yeah, I would have gone with these two guys maybe, you know, next year. But you know, kind of sport here a little bit, Matt. I think this is going to be a good match between these two guys. I'm happy where Drew is on the card, but just for me, I'm just like, I just wish they'd have had more time and they could have built it up, you know, much longer. What's your feelings on it, Matt?
Well, I kind of feel like these guys are a victim of circumstance. I feel like they had Drew there. They had him primed. He was the backup, you know, plan B, ready to go. If anything happened, you know, anything happened with Seth, anything happened with Brock, he was going to step in. He was going to be the guy to actually make things change. But as things happened, you know, what happened to plan B? You know, Roman came back. He was fit. He was ready to compete again. So that's the match that he now finds himself stepping into. But also, it's just so unlucky, isn't it, this time of year? Well, the killer is Dean Ambrose, isn't he? He's leaving. If he wasn't leaving, you know, if it wasn't so forced that this year would have to have this one last hurrah, I would have had Roman Reigns facing Dean Ambrose. The things that he said about him. You know, all we're getting since Roman's returned is like it's Joe. We're seeing good guy Joe wants to do this, Joe wants to do that, but we want to see what Roman would do. You know, the guy who's supposed to be his yard. He's supposed to kick people's asses. He's supposed to, you know, make people pay for the bad things they do. But, you know, if you're one of his mates, you know, do what you want to him. Kick him in the balls. You know, swear at him. You know, slap him in the face. It doesn't matter. He'll forgive you. I would have preferred to see Roman versus Dean myself. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that, and I'm sure that would have been their plans. In terms of the match here, Matt, I mean, the styles, it can be a bit awkward sometimes, but you think it'll be all right? You think it'll go off okay?
Yeah, I think that they're both incredibly strong guys, aren't they? There's going to be this whole, like, who's the most macho, who's the most dominant. I don't think it's as clean cut as we think it might be. We all assume that Roman's going to go in there and get his win. But this match will go on before the main event, of course. Right? Well, not the main event, this match, but the main event is in Brock. So, And I feel we'll get a real teaser to the way the main event's going to go. If Drew wins, I think we'll see Seth win. But if Roman wins, I think we see Brock retain. So this is a real key match of the night.
Yes. Yeah, unless they've done something incredible where they do a double turn, but very doubtful in my opinion there.